Hey everybody, welcome back to Comic Book Theater with another Comic Fanatic live. And joining me tonight again is Cryptid. So, Cryptid?
What's up, everybody?
Tonight we got a lot of news. Mainly entertainment news and stuff like that. It's not a lot of comic book news. I think we only have one comic book news piece. But the rest of it is all it's all from entertainment field. Just I'm sorry, I just forgot. Someone asked us to at them
Oh, right.
on the Discord. I just want to do that. There you go. All right.
Cool.
I just wanted to do that real fast. She wanted to be known when we went live. So yeah. So let's get on with the news, shall we?
Cool.
Let's tackle that first comic book news, that one comic book news piece, which is Tom King teases on Twitter about some kind of unannounced Watchmen project. And what he said was something to the effect of research for a future project or something, and it's every issue of Watchmen. So what's he working on? We don't know, but we could bet it has something to do with Watchmen.
That surprises me, honestly, because that makes me wonder, what does that mean for Jeff Johns now? Like, if Tom King's going to be doing the next Watchmen project, what's going to happen to Jeff Johns after Doomsday Clock ends?
I think what's going to happen is, honestly, I think Doomsday Clock is going to set up a new status quo for the Watchmen universe. As much as it's doing for the DC universe, I think it's going to do that for the Watchmen universe too. So I think we're going to get a new status quo for that, and that's going to be something that we're going to see a different side of. We're going to see a new Watchmen ongoing, maybe. That would be interesting to see an ongoing Watchmen series. We've never had that. We've only had the mini series and stuff like that.
Interesting. Hope it does good.
Yeah, we have Tevia here. He says hello, and then when related to this Tom King news, he says, "Oh dear God." um,
Well, how do you
and
feel if Bendis was doing the next Watchmen project? I wonder.
that would probably be a suicide attempt because he hates Bendis.
I know.
And then Comics Defenders here. What's up, Comics Defender says, "What's up, Tevia? Tevia, what up, celebrity?" Um, Tevia then says, "I thought Watchmen was going to be untouched." I don't think they ever said that. I don't remember anyone ever saying that. Watchmen is their property. As long as they keep publishing Watchmen, DC owns the rights to that. So I don't think they're going to stop now.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, because I know Alan Moore has and all that stuff. Like if they stop publishing it, he gets within so many years or something, he'll get the rights back to his property because it's his intellectual property, even though they're just derivative characters based off of the characters that they already own. Like what's his name? Dr. Manhattan is basically the Atom. It's Captain Atom. He's basically Captain Atom. They're all from the Charlatan comics. That like they're derivative characters from that. So but in his contract it was like if they stop publishing it, he can have them back. So they never stopped publishing it because they kept republishing the trade because it made tons of money. So as long as they publish something with the Watchmen, even if it's a reprint of a trade, they could do whatever they want with it. And that's what got people all upset about that. But it's a business contract. He signed it. He's a grown man. He didn't have to sign that contract. I mean, he could have been like, no, screw you. I'm going to take this project somewhere else. But he didn't. He went with it. So, I mean, I say if they want to touch it, touch it. It's their property. What do you think?
Yeah, he signed the contract. So, I mean, we're going to have more Watchmen. And I know people like Watchmen. So, hopefully they'll enjoy what Tom King has in store for them.
Terry says, so Doomsday Clock doesn't matter. I won't say that, because like I said, I think personally, Doomsday Clock is going to set up two different things. One's going to be DC Comics and what they're going to be building up to the new Status Quo / Crisis event that I predicted a couple weeks ago. And then they're going to build up a new Watchmen universe. So I think Doomsday Clock actually has a lot to do with that. So personally, I think it's going to matter. Do you think it's going to matter though, Cryptid?
I hope it does, because I know a lot of people like Doomsday Clock, so it'll be a shame if it didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are buying it still. So even with the delays, the insane delays, because Terry also says I think Watchmen should be left alone. Again, they're not going to do that, dude. It makes some money. It's a business.
Mm-hmm.
And Comics Defender says, wait, is Captain Atom as powerful as Dr. Manhattan? I don't think he is on that level, but but that's who he's based off of. Because DC had just acquired Charlatan Comics, and what they were going to do was they told him they were going to Alan Moore was going to write a story about the Charlatan Comics characters, okay? And he was going to use Blue Beetle and that's Night Owl. He was going to use
what's it?
He was going to use Captain Atom, and that's Dr. Manhattan now. He was going to use.
I'll take a question all of a sudden. So yeah.
Yeah, he was going to use a lot of different characters from that universe, and they told him, you know what, we're doing this thing, and we're going to actually get rid of that Earth and put it into our main Earth, because this was right around the time Crisis was coming out. So they were like, let's not use those characters, but create characters that are just like them for you. You can create characters that are just like them. And that's what he did. He just created new characters that were like them, but also different,
That also makes me wonder, what's the status of Captain Atom anyway? Because I remember he had a series a while ago, Fall and
Rise. He was in Batman. He was in Batman. Gotham Girl beat the crap out of him. Because, she's super pumped up now because she had the Venom, the super Venom in her. So her powers went extremely high. She put him in the hospital. Terry says, so Alan Moore got screwed over. No, he didn't. Again, he's a grown man who signed a contract with a company that he did not have to sign. If that contract, was not what he wanted or what he thought he would want down the line, then he should have said, you know what, that's not what I want. This is the contract I want to do. You couldn't negotiate. At that point, Alan Moore was still a name. I mean, he's not as big as he is now or as big as he was 10 years ago or something like that, because I really don't think Alan Moore's that big anymore, but some people still hold him up to in esteem, and he signed a contract, dude. He could have negotiated that contract. I don't feel bad for people who negotiate bad contracts. I can see if the DC held him, over a balcony and said, sign this contract or you're going to be dropped, but DC's not a rap label, a rap record label, so they don't do that to their people. I mean, it was a business contract. They wanted to do it, so he did it, and he got what he got. He got the fame that he got from that project that launched him into another level of success. So he got what he wanted. They got what they wanted, and now he's just pissed because he can't use them, which he put in contract that he doesn't have the rights to it. So I mean, again, it's part of the company. Was it a beneficial deal for him? If the book didn't sell well with DC would have not published it anymore, and he would have got those characters. So it's just the way the cookie crumbled. I mean.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, so let's go on to the next news piece. Go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was just saying, like, let's move on to the next one.
Oh yeah. All right. So this one just came in as we were getting ready to go live. The Batman Jamie Lawson. She was cast a while ago, but now we know who she's going to play. She's going to play a character named Bella, who is a grassroots political candidate in the Gotham circuit. So, what's interesting about this is that Bella's also the name of the girl that Robert Pattinson was the character that Robert Pattinson's character was in love with in Twilight. So it's like, did they name her Bella? Because this is a new character. Did they name her Bella to go to Twilight fans into watching this? Like, hey, yo, we got a Bella over here. Robert Pattinson and another Bella. Come on. But
they already have the guy from Twilight playing Batman, so you might as well get the fans too,
Yeah, I mean, technically, all right, vampires have a lore where some myths about vampires says that they could turn into bats. So he's a Batman, I mean, you can say that, I'm sure that they put thought into that name. I'm sure it wasn't no coincidence that she just got a name now, and it's Bella. I'm sure like someone said let's tease that fandom. Let's get that fandom in here too. But I don't know. I think she's gonna be like a Vicky Vale type character. Like the love interest for Bruce Wayne, but doesn't really know Bruce Wayne is Batman. And at the end of the movie or at the end of the trilogy or whatever, how long they play her character out for, she'll be gone. She'll be a flash in the pan. She won't be anything important, I don't think. What do you think?
We'll see now. I want to reserve judgment until I can actually see her character, like in a trailer or something,
Yeah. I mean, I want to see her character. I just don't like. I just think like these characters that they create for the movies don't really have a longevity outside of the movies. Like I don't see her unless she's a great, outstanding performance and character in the show and in the movie. I don't see her making that transition into the comics. All right, so this is something that Cryptid shared, and I got totally excited about it when I saw it. Marvel Future Fight Warriors in the Sky, a new team. Now, Cryptid, you want to tell us about this?
Okay, sure thing. This is a new thing that's being introduced to Marvel's Future Fights, and the reason why I'm interested in that is because that's where the Agents of Atlas, started from, in Future Fights. So I'm wondering, maybe this could get like some of the Agents of Atlas magic, and we could see those guys be introduced in the comics.
Yeah. Again, Marvel Future Fight is a game. I think it's downloadable on your any mobile device. So you guys don't know about it, you can download it on any mobile device. What I thought about it was interesting because it's very anime-ish type thing because it's like the 5 warriors or 4 warriors and their spirits combine into this other warrior, which brings in my love for Power Rangers and anime stuff like that. So like it hits me on 2 levels because now I want them to appear in an Agents of Atlas story. Like maybe they could be the villain team or something like that. I don't know, but I would love to see them. I would love to see them show up somewhere because like their spirits or something for that big monster type thing.
You know what I kind of theorized they might pop up in the next like Avengers event, like the fitting No Surrender and No Road Home, because you have like 5 forces, 5 groups of people in each one of those events going up against the Avengers. So I think like with these Warriors of the Sky, wouldn't that be interesting if they go up against the Avengers?
That would be interesting. I
like especially against Hercules.
And you know who else I want to see in Agents of Atlas to show up? The future Avengers from the backup stories. I know I got attached to those kids. I want to see more of them. Little Hydra agents that have found out the truth about Hydra. I want to see that. All right.
I hope they do something with those kids.
I do, and I also hope they do something with the Warriors in the Sky. All right, the next two pieces we'll put together because they're Disney Plus shows. Moon Knight and She-Hulk both find their showrunners. Moon Knight is from what's that show from? Let me just check that real fast. Well, She-Hulk is from Rick and Morty, which is interesting because Rick and Morty also has like the creator of Rick and Morty is doing the Star Trek show, the animated series. Now a writer from Rick and Morty is doing She-Hulk. They're like busy, so Rick and Morty could suffer from this somehow, because they're taking talent from there. Like maybe it's gonna be delayed or something. But let me see. I know I've seen that where the Umbrella Academy. So it's the head writer from the Umbrella Academy, which was a success on Netflix, So
glad to hear that.
So these are good writers. I'm looking forward to both series, honestly. And actually, you know what? We'll throw in this third one too, with it because it's kind of connected to it. Disney Plus Marvel shows will all appear in the MCU films. So Kevin Feige said that all of them are going to appear in the film. Like this could be this is their first introduction into the MCU, but then they could appear in films later down in the line. So I can see She-Hulk appearing in an Avengers movie or something. Maybe Miss Marvel will appear in Captain Marvel versus she could appear in Captain Marvel because they develop her as a fangirl in her show. They could just have her meet her idol in one of her movies,
Right. It's funny, when I first heard that news, right, all I can think about was someone's playing a sad song in the world's smallest violin for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. team.
I know. They just got screwed over so bad because well, honestly, the only one that could really cross over would be Coulson, but then they'll have to explain how he's alive and all that stuff. So,
well, he's a robot right now, isn't he, or some sort of android?
Yeah, but I mean, just in general, like that would have been the only one that could have really crossed over, because the rest of them you would have to explain who they are and why they're there, but actually, Bobby could have crossed over too because she didn't really need that much introduction. She's just she's just a superhero. She's an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. You didn't have to explain her, but the rest of a lot of them have connections to the Inhumans, so that who are not introduced in the MCU yet. They're still not introduced into that. So
yeah. Everybody wants to forget about the Inhumans.
Yeah, especially the actors.
Oh, yeah. It always, for me, whenever I think of the Inhumans right now, I always feel bad for Maximus because last he was seen, he was trapped in the moon forever. And I like to think that to this day, he's still trapped in the moon.
It was just a bad product because they went from wanting to be a movie to then being like, oh well, we got Spider-Man, let's screw it over to Inhumans and just throw in that as a TV series. And then they got the whole IMAX money, and they were like, let's just shoot all that money into one episode, and we'll put all of our special effects budget into this one episode. Well, there's 2 episodes. That would be a movie we'll release short term for an IMAX, and that's it. And I think they really screwed up the thing.
Much of the budget.
Well, no, the first 2 episodes you got to see, it wasn't that much either. But I mean, you did get to see Medusa's hair. After that, the hair got chopped off. So for the rest of the series, she didn't have her hair, which means Medusa didn't have anything. Gorgon didn't have his he had his hooves in the very first 2 episodes, and then after that they had to put on these special boots that made it look like he didn't have any hooves, which totally doesn't work because it's also his legs. His legs are supposed to go out that, like like a goat,
Yeah.
but it just went. It made it look like a regular thing because they couldn't use the special effect for him anymore. It's just honestly they half-assed that show and it showed. It really showed. They didn't really want it, but they had all these actors and stuff on their contract and they just wanted to get it made.
Let's see.
Um,
Just looking at some of the comments right now.
yeah.
The comic defender saying Coulson was killed, but Daisy could cross over. I would like that if that actually happens, if Daisy could cross over.
But see, then you gotta bring in the Inhumans. That's what I'm saying. If you bring in Quake, you gotta bring in the Inhumans. And do they really want to bring the Inhumans into their successful Marvel Cinematic Universe? That's the thing. That's the reason why I said
Well, they're bringing
Coulson
in
was the only
Kamala
one.
anyway. They're bringing in Kamala, and I don't think they're going to retcon her being an Inhuman. You know?
Yeah, but I think they'll be able to redo her, and they'll honestly they might do the Inhumans differently because technically the Inhumans are not a part of MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Even though technically they are, they're not because they have not appeared in the MCU proper. But the Agents of Shield is a part of the MCU, but they just haven't appeared in there. So they could somehow they could say after the snap things change. So you never know.
Let's see. Okay, cool. Guess on to the next topic, I guess.
Yeah, Terry just says the IMAX experience wasn't worth it. No, it wasn't. Let me see.
Comic
Um,
Defender, hold up, TS. I care about the comic Inhumans, but not the TV show. Was the worst. I agree too. I agree with that
yeah,
comment.
yeah, it was. The comics is good, but actually the comics got bad too around that time because that's when they over flooded the market with it.
Right.
They tried to reinvent the Inhumans and it sucked. So they chop off Medusa's hair in the comic books. They try to pair Medusa with Gorgon.
Gorgon lost his feet. He got human feet for a while. Oh yeah,
let's
and Black
see.
Bolt lost his voice too at some
Yeah.
point.
Well, he always uses his voice. Like that's the thing with him. Um, let's see. The comics defender says Karnak was the best part, and he got knocked out by a slip. Yep.
I like Karnak in the comics, but the one they had for the Inhuman show, I didn't like that at all.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I also agree with the comics defender here, where he says the human story from Agents of Shield was amazing, but that TV show was abysmal. I agree with
Oh
that
man,
too.
that was so night and day. The Agents of Shield did Inhumans right, in my opinion at least.
Yeah, I thought it was different than what the show was. When the comics was, and it left them as a mystique. It left some mystique to them, what they were and all. I just think the Inhumans didn't deliver on that mystique. All right, let's go on to the next one, which again is connected to this. Is Disney Plus is going to launch tomorrow morning, November 12th at exactly 6 a.m. Eastern Time. So anybody who hasn't signed up for it and you want to sign up for it, that is when you can, after that time, you can do it, which most people will probably be still sleeping when it goes live. A lot of people honestly already signed up for it. They were suckers and they signed up for the 2-year deal or the 3-year deal, the 1-year deal. Like there was all these deals going around. And I know a lot of people did it, and it's probably smart for a lot of people to do that because, again, I don't think they're going to offer it for $6.99 a month forever, because with the prices that those episodes are going to be taken in, they're not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to sustain that with just $6.99 a month.
True.
Are you excited about this?
I'm still gonna be waiting for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show to come out for me to
And then
subscribe to Disney Plus.
Yeah, they're
It's kind of
filming
like
that now. That's in filming now. They just started that, I think, last week. They
yeah,
tweeted out that they were filming it.
mm-hmm.
And that's the first one that's filming. And then
I did.
I'm excited about watching Gargoyles. Honestly, that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow while I'm at work. I'm going to be watching Gargoyles. So I'm going to be working on my computer at work, and then I'm going to have my little laptop right there set up so I can watch Gargoyles on Disney Plus. That's the only reason why I'm excited about it right now. Like that's my main excitement right now is I can watch all of Gargoyles streaming it. I don't have to watch it illegally. I don't have to bring out my DVDs and keep changing the DVDs. I can just have it streaming. That's so much better for me. And also Jake Long, the American Dragon. I love that show.
Oh,
That's supposed to be on there.
and it
And
ended too soon.
it did. It did. That ended so soon. That was like one of my favorite Disney Channel shows. Jake Long, the American Dragon. I still sing that song every time. Like I walk around and say J to the A to the K to the E. Um, Tony, the Black Critic guy, got to hang out with the voice actor from that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's also the voice actor for Zuko, right? I think from Avatar.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because they were hanging out at a con a couple years ago called BurrowCon. Tony was like in charge. He helped them assemble BurrowCon. He was like, their main person or whatever. He's not responsible for BurrowCon because BurrowCon had a lot of problems. But he was someone that they brought in to help him with to talk with the talent. He was there to talk to the talent. So he got to hang out with like a lot of voice actors from anime and stuff like that. And he got to hang out with the guy who voiced Jake Long. So like that, I thought that was like the coolest thing that he's ever done. Because I was like, that's someone I actually like. Like I love that show. So when he did that, I was jealous of him. I told him, I was like, of all the things you've done, Tony, that's the thing I'm jealous of you for, because you got to hang out with the guy who talked about, and he didn't even talk about Jake Long with them enough. Like he just mentioned it. I would have been like fanboying out about that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Disney Plus tomorrow just for the back library, because I don't think anything new is really coming out of that yet. Is there anything new that's supposed to launch at is supposed to go at launch? Because I know they're like, the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian I think goes live with it. So that's their only. We also got some other stuff coming on there. I don't know if you guys watched it, but Lizzie McGuire is coming out with her new show. Not that excited about it though. I like Lizzie McGuire, but I didn't like. I think it ended when it should have ended. Like I think that's a show that should have ended when it ended. They had Kim Possible coming out with a new cartoon. I'd be all for that because I love Kim Possible. But Lizzie McGuire was a show I think that ended the right time.
Right. I mean, I was more of a Kim Possible fan, so.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Ron and Rufus, you gotta be down with them. Let's see. Terry says bring back Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Same, I
Not
agree
happening. I would love it, but it's not gonna happen, Terry. That's not the audience they want for their anime series anymore. They want that 6 to 8 year old, like the 5 to 8 year olds. That's what they're going for. That's the audience they're going for. They're not going for an older audience for the cartoons. They're going for the younger kids. That's what they want. They want that 5 to 9 year old audience. And
it's a harsh reality.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I would love that to come back. Honestly, I would love maybe a Young Avengers in that sense, like to compete with Young Justice. Can you imagine a Young Avengers animated series that could compete with Young Justice?
I will be a fan
Or
of
even
that.
the Champions animated series that could compete with Young Justice, the animated series. Like that's what Marvel needs, something like that. But yeah, I don't think Earth's Mightiest Heroes are ever going to come back as a thing, because they've rebooted Avengers like I think 3 or 4 times now, because every season they reboot it. Like they do with Spider-Man, they reboot it each and every season. They do like a different arc or whatever. So yeah, we're not getting it. They're not going to go back to that. I want the Scarlet Witch story because it's supposed to be fantasy horror. Yeah, WandaVision, that's getting ready to be filmed, I think they said. That's gonna be filming soon. What about Young Justice that came back? Different companies, different mindsets, you know? Young Justice.
That was a fight to get Young Justice back too. That was
that took what, 5 years? That took binging the series on Netflix constantly, making it the #1 trending on Netflix like for 2 months worth of weekends.
I swear to God, I had like Young Justice playing in my Netflix like 5 seasons, like on and on again. You know.
Yeah. So did I. I just kept like, even if I wasn't paying attention to it, like while I was working, I had it on. I had it on at home, you know, in the background. So like on Sundays when I'm off, I'm you know, doing stuff around my house, I had Young Justice on TV, you know, on Netflix, just so I can show them that we're watching. You know, I wasn't technically watching it, but it was on, and that's all they care about, you know. I also bought the DVDs. I also bought the comic books. All that stuff showed DC. This is worth your investment. And when they went to DC Universe, people signed up for Young Justice, you know, so they know Young Justice is profitable. Earth's Mightiest Heroes, I don't even think they're out on DVD. Like, so the most you could do is binge it on you know, on DC Plus, if it's on there. I mean, on Disney Plus. If it's on Disney Plus, binge watch it over and over again. Maybe that will show Disney that, hey, people want the style of it, but I don't think they really care about it. Honestly, I just don't.
Let's see. So Tevia saying, so Earth's Mightiest Heroes can't do the same thing. That's a bummer. Well, you could try, man. You could try binging Earth's Mightiest Heroes, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. Like, try to binge it, but again, what also helped with that was fans campaigning it for it online. That's not happening. Like, fans are not doing it. The voice actors were campaigning for more Young Justice, you know? Let's see. There was also DVDs that people were buying, comic books people were buying. You know, all that stuff is what they wanted. They wanted to see that financial commitment to it, and that's what people got. Comics Defender says Feige has a plan, but DC has no clue. So you can make DC do what you want if you make enough noise. Feige, I don't think Feige really cares. First of all, Feige had nothing to do with the cartoons. So I still don't think he has anything to do with it because he's overseeing. I'm not sure if he's overseeing Marvel Animation now. I know he's overseeing the comics, the movies, and the TV, but I don't think he's overseeing animation. And if he is, he might want to do something. But Disney right now is good with them doing the different demographics. You know, you got the young kids coming in for the kiddie shows. You got the tweens coming in for the TV shows, the anime shows that you got now. And then you got the teenagers and young adults coming in for the TV series, the live action TV series. Then you got the adults and older fans tuning in for the movies. So you got every range group. They don't care about, you know, they would just want to have gateways to people to get into this stuff, and that's what they're doing. And DC, I think, did have a plan because think about it, like they really marketed that, like, and we're gonna talk about this in a couple of minutes, but I think networks do and companies they do these things where they tell people, oh, this will never happen unless this happens, or you know, or creators and stuff like that start campaigning for stuff, and it's already in the talks. Like, I'm sure that they didn't come up to Greg Weisman like after that and was like, you know, hey, we're going to do the series. You want to be on for it? No, I'm sure that they were in talks while people were campaigning for that, you know, and be like, hey, if this goes here, you know, we can do that. And that's what networks and companies do. They drive the interest up of it. And does Disney want to do that with Earth's Mightiest Heroes? I don't think so. As much as I would like them to, I don't think that they want to.
Right.
What do you think?
Again, it's a harsh reality of the situation.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think that they really want to do it. All right. So this is a controversial thing because a lot of people don't understand what this means. Joker is the most profitable comic book movie ever made. Now, this does not mean that Joker made more money than any comic book movie ever made. That's not what it means. What it means is that taking what it was filmed for, which was, I think, between $55 to $70 million, and what the studio made from it, which is a lot of money, that profit margin is more than any other comic book movie. So, like, Avengers Endgame made a lot more money, but they also cost a lot more money to make, you know? So that profit margin is not as great as the profit margin for Joker. So it is the highest profit, it's the most profitable comic book movie ever made, which I think is really cool, especially because all the hate it was getting on, like before it even came out, like, oh, this is bad for society because this says that, people who are, shoot guns or, you can feel bad for them, blah, 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 blah. Oh, shut up. It's a movie.
I have like people in real life that are actually trying to advise me not to go see the Joker, but I just wanted to go see it anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's a movie. Like, you have movies about everything, You have movies about anything and everything. There's movies about people being raped. Does that mean that people are going to watch it and start going out serially raping people? No. There's movies about people who hack people up and saw them in half and throw them in, do all kinds of stuff like that. Are there people who are seeing those movies and going out and doing it? Like, you can make any of those, like, you can make any argument for that. Like, anybody who watches any kind of violence in any movie is going to do that in real life. But if that person is going to do that, they were going to do it anyway. It's not something that was like, oh, I'm a normal person. I go to my job. I do great. I'm a great community person. I'm a normal, mentally healthy person. And then I saw that movie and I snapped. No, that's not how it works. There's always something wrong in your head that you are doing that. There's already some mental illness that you have that makes you see that and go out and do that. So I just hate that people tie that to that. Like, and they try to make it so politically motivated, and it was just not, But it also probably made it more successful because more people probably went to see it because of all the hate.
Oh yeah, I mean, that totally backfired if that was the case.
And we just talked about this a couple weeks ago that it was the number one X-rated, not X-rated.
And like Ryan says, mother beeper.
What's R-rated? R-rated. It was the number one R-rated movie ever made.
Yeah.
All right, so this is something that both you and me on Discord were excited about. The Scoob trailer. I don't know. I loved it. I thought it was really fun, and dude, it's gonna have Blue Falcon in it, Captain Caveman. I love that cartoon. They're gonna have Captain Caveman. They're gonna have Dynamite. They're gonna have Blue Falcon. Who knows who else that can pop up in there? But I mean, like, I love Scooby-Doo watching it as a kid. I watched every single Scooby-Doo series, every single Scooby-Doo movie, live action and animated. So I'm in for this. I mean,
if you could get through Scooby Apocalypse, you could read any Scooby property at all.
Yeah. I mean, I stuck with that. Even after what they did to poor Scrappy. I mean, what Scrappy did to a dog. Scrappy broke someone's neck, I think.
Right.
Broke a dog's neck. But yeah, like, the only thing that was weird about it was Scooby talking in the trailer. But again, that was a trailer for the trailer. Like they did a joke for that. So I don't know if he's actually going to be talking, like full on, because he still has Frank Welker does the voice. So Frank Welker is a great actor. So voice actor. I'm interested to see where they go with it. It's the origins of how Scooby and Shaggy met, origins of how the Mystery Inc. team met.
That's what got me actually. When I saw Scooby and Shaggy as kids and how Shaggy got the name for Scooby, I was like, oh man, that hit me in the heart.
Yeah, so now we know that Scooby Snacks aren't just a coincidence, that Scooby was named after the Scooby Snacks.
Mm-hmm.
So
and his last name was Doo because it was funny.
Yeah, and his middle name is Doobie. Scooby Dooby Doo.
Oh man.
Which really fuels the whole Shaggy is a pothead type thing. You know how like everybody portrays Shaggy as a pothead. Like they all say he's a pothead. So that really furthers that. But you have to remember he named it when he was like what, 8 years old in it, or 5 years old, like whatever he was then. Which Scooby shouldn't be alive right now. Hate to say it, but
he shouldn't be talking for one thing.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying a Great Dane only has a lifespan of like 10 years, 10 to 12 years, because the bigger the dog, the shorter the lifespan. Right. So he has about a 10 to 12 year lifespan, and Shaggy's at least 25, and and when they're older, and if he had him from like 5 to 8 years old, then Scooby should have been. They should be on Scooby-Doo number 3 by now. Like he should be the third Scooby that the parents go out and buy.
Well, who knows? Maybe the Scooby Snacks give longevity to dogs. Who knows?
Yeah, but like you said, you also have to disbelieve reality, because dogs don't talk in real life. So.
I like the Comic Defender's comment. Scooby gave me nightmares growing up. He used to chase me all the time till I woke up.
Also says, boo, Joker is great, but DC and those who like it, and it's okay as a one-off, but that ain't no Joker origin in me. Should have been on streaming, in my opinion. I thought it was a good movie.
I took it as an Elseworld story.
Yeah, it's definitely, a one-shot, Joker story. I don't think it's going to be like, in the comics, it's going to be like his origin or anything. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, this is his origin now in comic books. Because I think you're seeing that even now in books like Harleen and Joker and Harley Quinn, where they're playing around with his origins, but they are still saying, like, every time he tells it, it's something different, So in the comic books, it stays like that. I'm cool with it. As long as they don't try to screw the comic books with this, I'm good with it. I don't care.
Right. I mean, when I watched the Joker, that's how I was looking at it. This could have been easily been like an Elseworld comic.
Oh yeah, definitely. Terry says he likes the Joker and Blue Falcon. Nice. I know you did, but for the life of me, I don't get why, especially you who know the extremes of the Joker's psychotic ways. I study psychology. I have I minored in it in school, so I have a degree in psychology. I don't see what was wrong with that. Like, the Joker is a psychotic character, yeah. I mean, but that's something like that means that, like, if you don't want to go for that, then you shouldn't support a comic book either. You shouldn't watch it on the animated series. Like, any form of the Joker is still the same Joker. Whether they lighten it up for younger audience or not, it's still the same Joker. He's still the same person in the comic books. And then Terry says, I like the switching of Joker's origins, but the story was soft core. Not Terry, I'm sorry. The Comics Defender said. I don't know. I thought it was okay. I thought it was honestly okay. Was it the best comic book movie ever? No. But it was a great Joker story. I would say that. It was a great Joker story, and it didn't rely on Batman, it didn't rely on anything else. It relied on him as a character, which, I thought was a good thing. So, all right. let's see. Another piece we got: Titans renewed for season 3. We don't have any news about it yet, but yeah, they're renewed for season 3. So that means that this could strengthen the fact that DC Universe is still going to exist. You know, the DC Universe app is still going to exist next year because this doesn't come out till fall 2020. But I'm excited for it. I like Titan season 1. I'm liking Titan season 2, and I'm in for season 3. So let's see what they bring to us. What do you think?
Great to hear. I mean, I haven't actually watched Titans myself, but
Oh, okay.
people like it.
I really liked the Connor episode. That was a really good episode. Superboy episode. That was a really good one. All right. The final thing that I wanted to talk about is something that really picked up this week, and we discussed it on the Discord. And that's the release #release the Snyder Cut. People are saying that Snyder Cut is out there. It exists. People are saying it doesn't exist. People are questioning, does it exist? Zack Snyder says it exists. Storyboard writer for Wonder Woman says it exists. Jason Momoa says it exists. But if it exists, it had to be recently because Jason Momoa and everyone said it didn't exist a year ago. So I think this is all, and this is what I was talking about earlier. I think it's all one of two things, okay? Either it doesn't exist, and Snyder is getting him and his close friends to say it exists, so it will put heat on DC to have this made, to have them let him go and remake it, cut this film. Or Warner Brothers actually already told him, go ahead and cut this film, and they're going to use this as an incentive later on for HBO Max. We had the Snyder Cut. You want the Snyder Cut? The only way you're going to get this is by checking out HBO Max. So those are my two theories on it. It's either one or the other. Either it's a ploy to get them to let them make it, or it's already been made, or is being made now, and Scott Snyder was just allowed. Warner Brothers is going to use it later on down the line. But I don't think it was something like, oh, I made it, because he left before that could have been finalized. He left before that could have been finalized. He would have only been post-production a couple months. And it takes a long time for post-production, especially on a movie like Justice League. And Warner Brothers,
all these years later, we're still talking about the Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah, I think it's just because people want to see it. They want to see what this could have been. And Snyder has a big fan base. I personally don't like his movies. And I think, I like some of his movies. I didn't like any of his DC movies. But I do think what I seen in Justice League is probably what I would have wanted more over the Snyder Cut, because Snyder Cut was probably a lot more darker stuff, and I probably wouldn't have liked that, But I understand why fans want to see it. Just curious. If it is released, I would watch it just to see what he would have done separately. It's I own the original Superman 2 movie, but I also own Superman 2 the Donner's Cut, and the Donner's Cut I think is way better. It takes out all the silliness of Superman 2. No more the S shield that comes out and wraps people up in it. That doesn't happen. All the silliness is out of that movie, and it's a lot better. So I would give it a shot, but and I probably would review it, but it's not something I'm going to demand for. I'm not going to sit out there, and harass these Warner Brothers to make that, to give me it. But I do think people would think oh, Zack Snyder did this all on his own, this dreaming, because Warner Brothers, after he left, did not give him hey, here's all of our film reels. You can go home and work on this as well. Here's all the footage that you shot. You can go home and work on this and edit it in your own, your own home studio or whatever. They're not going to do that. This is their property. Whether he was on it or not, they're not going to give it to him and say, here, edit it. So if he edited it and cut it, that means that Warner Brothers wanted that to be made. They had to give him their permission. So they're doing that to use it for something else.
Right.
What do you think? Does it exist or does it not exist? Do you care?
Okay, I responded this on Discord too, and I do see arguments on both sides as to whether it exists, yes or no. And I like to describe it like, how many looks does it take to get the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. And honestly, for me, if it comes out, great, I'll watch it. But if it doesn't come out, I'll just move on.
I'm not going to lose sleep. Yeah, I feel the same exact way. I don't I'm not going to be like one of those people who are going to be like, I was gypped, I was ripped, I was cheated, I did not get my Snyder cut. I don't care. The movie sucked anyway. I mean, I don't see where the Snyder cut is going to be like, oh, this was the best superhero movie ever made. I'm never going to think that way. I just think that I do think, though, one of those two things happen. Either Snyder's using this as leverage to get it made, or WB already has it made, and they're using Snyder to fuel the interest of those hardcore fans, that want this made.
We'll see. Only time will tell.
Yeah. So we'll probably talk about this again, like if more news develops, but only if new news develops, because people just still protesting about it. It's not going to, have us talking about it. But if we find out it's released on HBO Max or something, then we'll talk about it again. All right, so let's go into our our main, the main part of the show, which is the comic book talk. So we always start out with our least favorite, because we want to get the bad news before the good news. That's how you always want it. You always want to get that bad news before the good news. So what was your least favorite book? What was your least favorite?
Okay, this is going to be a surprise for everybody, and this is the least favorite I want to add. But my least favorite for this week is actually Marvel's Future Fights Crescent and IO.
Really?
Yeah, it's a least favorite, but okay, let me explain myself on this.
Okay.
I was excited for this. I still like Crescent and IO, right? And I was excited to see her origin. There was just one small criticism I had to have. We got to see her origin, and it dealt with her losing her father. But I felt like this was like the fourth time we saw this sort of story before, with the other Ages of Atlas members, because I think she's like the fourth person who has like a missing parent.
Swordmaster does. White Fox, her mother died. Her mother was killed.
Luna Snow doesn't have her parents. She has her grandma.
I don't think they ever mentioned. Yeah, but I don't think they ever mentioned what happened to her parents or anything. I think that her grandmother just raised her. Exactly. But yeah. So I know Swordmaster does. I know Swordmaster is his father went missing.
Yep. So yeah, that's why when it came to Crescent and Io, I just felt like I wanted something different from her origin other than like a missing dad,
Can an Asian character have two stable parents?
Exactly.
Like none of the Asian characters have stable parents. I can understand that because Amadeus, I don't think we mentioned his parents ever. Yeah. When was the last time we mentioned his parents?
He has a sister,
in his origin. I think in his origin story, that's the only time they've ever mentioned his parents outside of his sister. His family outside of his sister.
Mm-hmm. But there is one thing I did. There was one thing I did like about that book. It's the Jimmy Woo moment at the end where he was talking to the dragon about how if anything, the Ancients of Atlas gave these people a chance to have a family of their own.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like Crescent and Io, and I still like all the Future Fight characters. I just felt like I want something different, you know?
I like this. I liked it because it showed us a little bit more about her. We got her origins, and we do have her on a mission. Um, my one critique about this is also about her father missing. We never heard about that in Agents of Atlas. You know, like she's never said, when am I going to go look for, because like they're supposed to help her find her father, but she's never mentioned looking for her father in the series. So like um I do like that the bear is an ancient creature. Maybe has something to do with her mother. Like that would be interesting because the mother did give her the bear before she left, you know,
Yeah.
which crappy mother. Let's just say that she had a crappy ass mother who just was like, you know what? You're not successful enough. I'm gonna leave you, but I'm gonna leave you with my daughter, and I'm skedaddling. You know, that is so messed up. Um, and another thing is, I don't think the mother looked Asian, even though I think she was
I
Asian.
don't think
I
it
don't think she
was.
looked Asian in the art.
Like at least the way I read it, I thought her father was Asian, but her mother was Caucasian.
I don't know because I think it was her name that made me think that she was Asian. I think it was her name. I can't remember her name now, but I think the mother's name when the father said her name, I think it was Asian. But what I did love about this is the Appa and Oma because I watch a show. I don't know if you watched it ever, but it's called Kim's Convenience. It's on Netflix. It's a
I
Canadian
don't.
show. Great comedy show series. It's a Canadian comedy series. It's on Netflix, so you have that. Highly recommend people to go check it out. But they say Appa and Oma, you know, and it just made me feel more connected. Like she was more real because they used those like genuine, Asian names, for mother and father.
Right. Oh, I mean, also speaking of that, I did like the small little touch where they did show a Crescent's room, and you see a poster of Luna Snow in the background.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And those are the little things that I like about these books, where they connect them subtly, like like they subtly connect everybody. Um, but I actually enjoyed this. I thought it was really good. The only other thing I would have liked they could have done more, I think, was show how she knows more martial arts because they only showed that
Oh,
one form, Taekwondo, but she's supposed to be like into multiple forms because she can hold her own against what's his name? Oh, why can't I think of his name right now?
Ron? No.
Shang-Chi.
Oh,
Shang-Chi.
yeah, yeah, Shang-Chi.
Like she can hold her own against him. She did that in the very beginning of the book. Remember, she was holding her own against him before she went into before they went into the origin story. She actually knocked him down. So like,
Yeah.
it would have been interesting. They would have showed us. I guess that happened after this. After her origin, she learned more martial arts, maybe from Io. Maybe that's where she learned it from. I don't know,
Hmm.
but it would be cool if we find that out somewhere.
Cool. So yeah,
Um.
hope, hope for the best. I still do like her character, by the way. Nothing
Oh
against
yeah.
her. Just next time I don't want like another missing parent sort of issue.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Like, give us some steady, stable parents. Like something else motivates these kids instead of just their parents. You know,
Yep.
but I do like the thing that saved me from that was like what you said. Jimmy tied it all back to being it's about family. Not the family you have, but the family you make. So that's why I'm okay with them all doing that so far. And I think this is the last book of all of them. I don't think we have it
Mhm.
anymore. Um, because I don't think I think we had them all.
Yep.
Swordmaster has his own ongoing. Um, Arrow has her own ongoing. Well, not ongoing mini series. They both have mini series. Then we had Luna Snow, White Fox, and Crescent. So I think that's all of them.
The next Agents of Atlas related title would be the Atlantis attacks, but that's
No, it's going to be incoming. Dead Atlantis
oh
attacks.
yeah, incoming.
Incoming's in next month. I think it's December starts up. End of November, December, somewhere around here. And then Atlantis Attacks is going to be in 2020. So.
Yep. Which, dang it, that's how Marvel gets you. They end the series and have you go for the next event to see where those characters go.
Definitely. And I buy all Marvel anyway. I buy all Marvel. See, you know that. So I was going to buy it anyway, but I'm glad that we're getting them. We at least we have to finish out this mini series. Then we're getting the incoming mini series. Then we're getting next year. So we know for at least months we're going to be getting more of them. So I'm happy with that.
Cool. Same here. So
my least favorite. I was just going to say that. My least favorite was Absolute Carnage Weapon Plus #1.
Oh,
we don't need it. We didn't need it. I mean, I'm tired of putting Absolute Carnage in front of a book to sell it. They could have just made this a Weapon Plus story or something like that to make it part of this event, and it really didn't fit with it. I didn't like that. That's just me, but I'm carnaged out, I think, at this point. So that could be a part of my misenjoyment of it. Maybe more people enjoyed it because they're loving all this stuff. But I think I'm over carnaged. I think I'm maximal. I have my maximal carnage. I'm carnaged. I'm carnaged out. I cannot take any more carnage right now. I think he needs to go away for a while and then come back. Go away for a little while like he always does. Carnage normally has a little time in the spotlight, then he goes away. So I'm done with Carnage for now. I'm still going to read it because I still buy all Marvel and I'm going to be finishing the event and all that, but I just don't think we needed this.
I actually read that book too, and to be honest, I'm actually a Weapon H fan, so I like seeing Weapon H back again.
I like seeing him back, but I didn't see the point of it, in the event. I just want Weapon H as Weapon H. I think he's an interesting character. I love Weapon H, but I didn't want to see him as a part of this. Give me Weapon H somewhere else.
My favorite scene from this issue was actually the scene where you have some of those army members, right? They held his mother-in-law hostage, saying, "If you come closer, we'll cut her heart out." And she's saying, "Go ahead, cut my heart out. He already did that the second he married my daughter." I thought that was funny. Granny, mother-in-law got sass. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And I guess the big toy action figure guy in me enjoyed the fight between Weapon H and Carnage. So, there was also that.
Yeah, again, it could be just me being oversaturated with Carnage right now in the Marvel universe. Me not actually enjoying the whole Absolute Carnage to begin with. That could be part of why I didn't like it.
The tie-ins really drag down Maximum Carnage. I agree with
that. Let's see. Kevin says sounds like a cash grab. That is Marvel's middle name. Marvel Cash Grab Comics. That's their full name. The Comics Defender says, I agree. I'm Carnage out too. Have been for many years. Yeah, I think Carnage is okay in small doses. Because once you overuse him, he becomes less than. He should be that threat that is used only. And you don't have to make 25 books a week with him in it. I shouldn't have to read 25 books a month to read this event. That's just not what it should be. And most of the books don't really need a book. What was it last? Was it one of those books last week that we didn't need? Red Goblin, Red Death. We both said we didn't need that book. Marvel is just making books that we really don't need.
When did that take place exactly?
Yeah, I mean, we don't even know. Do you actually even care? I mean, I didn't. I mean, Red Goblin was something that is done and over with, but yet they bring it back. I'm not into that whole need for it. I think that they need to calm down with that stuff.
Well, luckily it's almost over. So
Yes, that's a good thing.
Mhm.
All right, let's go to see what Tevye has. Tevye joined us in top 5 this week, and he has worst pick Legion of Superheroes #1, mostly because, dear God, the
it's
story is so boring. Nothing happened, and all that build up with Legion of Superheroes Millennium was all for nothing. Meaning Rose and Dawn is so pointless and boring. Nothing happened. Also, I'm still pissed off that my favorite character, John Kent, is aged up for this nonsense. Also, how does um how does one of the organization that John supposedly created know he's in the future? Did I miss something? I am confused. Also, why is Karate Kid Asian now? And no, I'm not trying to be racist. I just find it weird that all I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Point is, I find the series has some good ideas, but I have a bad feeling Bendis is going to mess it up. Well, he's not the only one that was race changed. Lightning Lad is black now. Um, what was his name? Why can't I think of his name? The magnet guy. The guy who conducts magnetism. Cosmic Boy. He's I think black too. He became black in another book too. So this isn't the first time that Cosmic Boy's been black, but first time the Lightning Lad has been. And I think Karate Kid being it is just because a lot of people got pissed that martial arts characters aren't Asian. And I think the reason why is look what happened with Netflix when they cast a white guy to play a white guy in the comic book. When a white guy was cast to play Iron Fist, they got so much hate for that they cast a white guy to play a white guy because they were like, the best martial artist is Asian, is white and not Asian. But I think the reason why the Karate Kid was made white in the first place was so they didn't want to go to the stereotype that all Asian people know martial arts.
Yeah. I mean, some of you guys might not know this, but I take martial arts, Northern Shaolin Kung Fu, and my Sifu's a Caucasian guy. Doesn't say that.
Yeah, I mean, I took martial arts too as growing up, so I think it's okay either way. Honestly, I don't think he's a major character that I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I don't think like if it was Superman, I'd be different about it. Because Superman is a main character, who and his origin shouldn't be touched. But even within the Legion of Superheroes, he's not a main character. Like Karate Kid's not a main character. Even like he didn't even make it into the cartoons. I don't think. Like he might have been like in one episode of the cartoon series. That's it. Like he never really made it like that big. Most people hear Karate Kid, 99.9999% of people are going to think of Ralph Macchio. And there's going to be people who think of Will Smith's son before they think of the Legion of Superheroes.
Right.
Very few people are going to be thinking, the Legion of Superheroes guy. So I don't really care, but I did notice that too. I did notice, and I also noticed, Lightning Lad when that first was introduced. But Rose Thorn is in this issue. I wasn't that upset with this issue. I thought it was a nice setup for everything.
And is it true they give out a ring for every purchase of a Legion of Superhero comic?
I think they did. Yeah, I got one. My comic
cool.
shop gave me one.
Yeah.
I don't know where. I think it's downstairs, no, it's at work. It's on my desk. That's right. I left on my desk. I have it on my desk, right next to all my Green Lantern rings. Because when they were giving out those for Blackest Night.
Yeah.
The green, the red, the yellow, all those rings. I got all of them lined up on my desk. I got a Flash ring lined up on my desk. So like all the DC rings are just lined up on my desk like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, people look at me and they're like, "And you're an adult, right?"
Yeah.
Because I got a lot of toys on my desk. But yeah. Um, so that's that. Let's go on to our number 5.
Top
So
five. Five.
let's see. I'm gonna read Terriers first. Terriers is Justice League number 35, an interesting story about Perpetua going crazy and destroying Batman by Gaslight world, but damn, having the rest of the Justice League teaming up with the JSA and there's tons of fun. But damn it, the ending with Lex Luthor Perpetua winning, I didn't see it coming. I did, because Scott Snyder likes to make the good guys lose before he makes them win. So I was okay.
Mhm.
I knew that was coming. This is actually good. They're ending their Justice League run soon, so um, I'm looking forward to see how it ends. This whole 35 plus issues story arc, which I gave Wonder Woman underneath the new 52 a bunch of crap for having one long arc. But this is how you do it. It was separated into several arcs with like the overarching story. So I liked how Scott Snyder did it better. But, did you read this issue or no? You don't read
Nah,
Justice League.
I didn't read Justice League.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
really need to read 35 issues to understand this, because it's been like an
Okay.
undergoing plot throughout the whole series, and this is what it's been building up to.
Glad it's gonna be ending on a high note at least,
Yeah. All right. Let me see. If there's anything else that Terry did say. Oh yeah, Cosmic Boy. Oh yeah, Guy race changed too. Yup. But this is the second time, because the last one he was changed into the black guy too. So again, I had no problem with that. It said Iron Fist was a white guy. Yeah, but they still complained about it. That's what I'm saying. Um, my God, they're so stupid. Actually, he was in the cartoon series. I'd say he might have been in like one episode, but he wasn't like a featured character. He wasn't a featured character. Bouncy Boy was more featured in it than he was. So like that says something when the Bouncy Boy is a bigger character than Karate Kid. But who was your number 5, Cryptid?
Let's see, my number 5, Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 12. I thought this was a decent issue. Better than the last,
Probably the
I'll
best
say
issue of this. Probably the best issue of this series too so far.
that. So yeah, Spider-Man and Miles and Prowler, they're now going to be teaming up because Prowler got a hit on himself now because he didn't complete his assignment. One thing I did like for me, I liked about this issue a lot was at the end we see the cover for the next issue, right? And it hints
Hmm.
that Rhino's coming back, which I'm excited for because for me personally, at least, this series was at its peak when Rhino was here. You had like that buddy cop dynamic.
Yeah, I like Rhino in it. I just didn't like the story he was connected to, like the overall story about the kidnapped slave free children thing. I didn't enjoy that part of it, but I did like Rhino in it. So I am excited to see him coming back.
Yeah, I think that's where Solomon Ahmed, that's where he's writing his best when he does a buddy cop dynamic between a superhero and a villain. So yeah, really looking forward to the next issue. And that's pretty much all I have to
Um,
say about this book.
I like it. I thought it was solid. Like I said, I think this is the best issue so far. I think it's because it wasn't relying on any gimmicks. It's relying on Miles as a character. It's
Hmm.
relying on his familiar connections to Prowler, his uncle Aaron. So that's what I liked about it, because Miles at his best is when he's personal. Like that. I think that's any Spider person. When they're at their best is when you're talking about their personal stuff, not when you're, because it's always the character first with Spider-Man and all the other Spider people. And when you talk about Miles first, I think it puts a different spin on the book, because
Hmm.
anybody could go fight people, but I want to hear what Miles is doing, and I think that's what made me enjoy this issue a lot better.
True. Agree with that statement.
The comics to finish says all I'm reading is Hickman's X-Men. I am not really enjoying that as much because if we don't talk about it in our top 5, we can talk about the Dawn of X books later near the end. But I just again I don't like all the reinventing that they're doing. But we could talk about the ones that came out this week later on if we don't have it in our top 5. So
Gotcha. One thing I'll say about that comic is if you're just reading X-Men, like if you can only just read one single franchise in Marvel Comics right now, I mean Hickman is not really a bad bet, you know? He writes a lot. He writes that whole map sort of thing, you know?
yeah, you have to have him at with his stuff. But
hmm
again, I'll talk a bit more about it later. But number 5 for me was Addams Family, The Bodies issue, number 1. If you like the Addams Family, you will love this issue. It is a classic Addams Family story. All right. Wednesday is bored to hell. She's done everything she can do to torture her brother and her family. You know, she's tried to kill her brother. You know, chopped his head off. The toy is so old it breaks. It doesn't kill him. You know, she's done toying around with him and torturing him. You know, so she's like, I'm bored, and she's like being depressed. And the grandmother tells her there's this grimoire, right? The family grimoire that you should get, and she's like, the mother's like, no, she's too young for that right now. So she goes to look in the library and she's reading all the books. She's like, that's not here. I knew grandma was just playing around with me, you know? And then she sees Uncle Fester's little desk. And this is where he writes all his ransom notes. For some reason. So she finds a 17 magazine, like, you know, a teen magazine. And she's like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like, the things in here are horrible, you know? So she decides she's going to use that as her guide to torture her family now. So she tries to do a couple things, and it's like, with the Addams family, you know, spooky stuff is not bad stuff, you know? So they're not like cutting off Lurch's arm. He doesn't care. He just keeps on watering the plants. Digging up a skeleton from the family crypt and putting it in a bathing suit and throwing it up against the window to scare her grandmom. She was like, oh, hi, you know, didn't care about it. But then she decided, I want to do something different. And she like makes over her brother and makes him look cute. And it's horrible, you know. She does she does things fingernails. She puts press on fingernails on a thing, and you know, like long press on fingernails or whatever. Like does the whole manicure. Puts on a bracelet on it. Bray's cousin, its hair makes it all, you know, like ribbons and stuff. And the family's like shocked. They're like, oh my God, you did this. How dared you do this? You know? And she's like, I'm bored and all this. And then by the end, she gets her mother's real grimoire, which is like a real dark book. So like at the end, she's telling her brother what she did in the beginning, like, we're going to torture you. I'm going to kill you with a guillotine, and the guillotine's not there. And then you see that she opened up a portal to this hell dimension, and all these monsters are like coming out to eat poor Pugsley. So great family, like great Addams Family book. Like if you're a classic Addams Family reader, like watcher or whatever, you would love this. I think it's right up people's alleys. It's going to be fun for them.
What's the title of this issue again?
Addams Family, The Bodies issue.
The Bodies issue. Yeah, I gotta look up that comic now.
Do it. I'm telling you, it's so much fun. Like, it's so much fun. If you're a fan of the Addams Family, and with the movie coming out and all that, it's in an animated style. Mm-hmm. So it will make you feel like you're watching the Addams Family, like in animation form. Like, it is so head on. Let's see. So Yeah, I think it's really good. I hope you check it out and let me know what you think about it.
I will definitely. Next time I go to my comic shop, I'll look for that book.
Let's see. What was your number 4?
My number 4 was Swordmaster number 5. I thought it was. I like the origin part better. There's like, again, I think we talked about this with Arrow previously. There's like a little clashing going on between the first story and the second story.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised we got to see Doctor Strange and like Baron Mordo involved in Shang-Chi's origin story. To be honest, I wasn't expecting that, but it was
Yeah,
nice seeing that.
this is my number 6.
Oh, okay.
It was because
And
of that breakup between the two stories too.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, what can I say about the second story? It was just them continuing on their mission with Ares,
Mm-hmm.
Shang-Chi and Swordmaster in Madripoor, and what was it? The Queen of Madripoor or something comes out at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I forgot what her name is supposed to be.
I did too.
Yeah, so yeah, for me it was a good issue at least. But
Yeah.
yeah, there is that
Um,
problem with the
Doctor Strange
class.
definitely came out of nowhere. Like Doctor Strange and Voyager, I'm like, okay, what are they in here? And then they left. I was like, okay, that was like unexpected. Um, but I hope that because we only got a couple more issues of this left. I hope that we get the point where he actually masters that sword. Either in this story or the backup story. I want him to be able to wield that sword like he owns it. Like actually
Right.
become the master of the sword.
Be worthy of the sword.
Yeah, 'cause I'm really getting tired of like every issue someone owns him with that sword, like his sword. They basically use his sword against him, even though no one else can use it but him. They still use, and the sword actually wanted the girl to take him. Like the
Mm-hmm.
sword was like going for the girl, and she was like, "No, you need to stay with him." Like, dude, no, your sword doesn't even respect you. Like that. That's the point I want at by either the end of this or the main story or the backup story. By the end of the mini series, I want him to be the sword master. Actually
Master.
have
Yeah.
the mastery of the sword. Um, my number 4 was actually Fantastic Four number 16.
Okay.
Um,
So what happened?
all right, did you read this issue or no?
I don't read the Fantastic Four.
Okay. Well, they're the foretold. They're on this other planet where they were supposed to go to in their original mission. And years ago, Reed built a machine, and they got a peek into this world. And this world actually has this thing where the computer picks out your soulmate. Someone who is cosmically on the same level as you. So you're destined to be together. And the girl went up to her name is what's her name? I think it's like Air or something like she has like a weird like it's just like a very basic name. But she's got wings and she can fly. And he says she got to see into the world because they were looking there and the machine was looking for her soulmate. Like they intersected and they got to see each other. Um she was told that Johnny Storm was going to be her soulmate. Johnny felt a connection, but he didn't know why when he looked at this planet with two suns. Um, and this is what facilitated the world to start experimenting on their people because of that little
Oh,
crossover. And they started to make super powered people based on this because they thought that they were going to invade them. So they want to be prepared. So they create their own little superheroes. But they also created like mutants that like weren't very attractive and they weren't useful to their mission. So they threw them into like a pit, kind of like, where lesser beings are put. Like, society doesn't want you. You don't fit in society, so go down there. Well, Ben's been down there, and they all attacking Ben because they, think that he's one of the foretold. He's going to come and conquer their planet, and they're beating the crap out of him. But he beats all of them, and he beats up their big guy, and he by the end he like leads a revolt. He's like, he's like, I married a gorgeous woman. She loved me for what's on the inside. And you people may look like monsters, but you're still human. You still got an inside. You're still who you are. Don't let your outside change your inside. And he says, who cares what they say, the over and the under? He said, go back there. He said, let's go. And Sue and Reed escape because something is going on. The head guy knows something, like he did something else. So they're escaping because they know about it, and he doesn't want them to tell anybody else, I guess. So we have that going on. I think it's good. I love that they're exploring, the original mission, what that was really supposed to be, which was to go here. And I like that their mission had, like, their original accent had an effect with these people all the way across the galaxy, all the way across the universe. So I like that. I thought it was a really cool thing that they're doing.
Gotcha. I mean, based on how you described it, man, like I really like hearing what Ben had to do in that issue of the thing.
Yeah. He did a Captain America thing, like I could do this all day. Like he just took on like every like monster down there that well, they call them freaks. Every freak that came out at him, it was like pummeling him. So this like big giant dude came out and was like, I'm the king down here. And he was like, let's do this. I took out the biggest, strongest guy on my planet. I had no problem taking you out, and he like suplexes him and everything. And they're like, kill him. You are their leader now. Kill him. And he's like, that's not what I do. That's not my style. And then he tells them, about, what's on the outside doesn't change who you are inside. Don't let that change you. But yeah, it's a really good issue. I really like what Dan Slott is doing with Fantastic Four. I think he does a great job with them.
Cool.
All right. So let's go on to Kevius number 4. Which is Miles Morales Spider-Man. So he likes the book that you liked also. He says, number 12, finally Miles and his uncle are bonding. Also, yay, Miles and the Prowler are going to go John Wick. Miles and the Prowler are going to go John Wick. This is going to be awesome and badass. Let's give you Kevius number 3, which is Magnificent Miss Marvel number 9. Finally, Bruno and Kamala Khan are a couple that took so long, even though I am still mad that they erased the parents, her secret identity, what the story itself is interesting.
Gotta move on from the parents' mind wipe, man.
There's just one part of it. I mean, I honestly, I think I like it better that they don't know. It gives her something, because I think the more people know about a comic book character, the less dynamic you can use with that, because if everybody knows that she's Miss Marvel, then why wear a mask, honestly? Why not just let the world know it, at that point? All her friends know it, there's enough people who know she's Miss Marvel. Her family could be in the dark. But I also want to say that they're a couple. They just kiss. It's one of those, I'm off to save the world. Hey, I love you. Here's a kiss. Doesn't mean they're going to be a couple. They could be. I'm just saying that right now we don't know that they are because they only shared one kiss.
Gotcha. Is it on your top? Because you want to talk about the issue now, or?
It's not on my top. Is it in your top?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, then we'll talk about it then. I just wanted to say that because he said about Bruno and her being in a relationship. I did like this. This is, I think, my number 8. Again, I read a lot more comics than most people do, so like just to be in like my top 10 is like usually people's top 3, because I read like 70 plus comic books a week. So My list is a lot longer than most people's. But it was. This is probably my favorite of the Magnificent Miss Marvel books. I would say that.
Cool.
All
Talk
right.
about more. Let's see. So number 3 now.
Yeah. So what was yours?
My number 3, we already talked about it. Weapon Plus.
Oh,
That's
okay.
part of Weapon Plus. So we already talked about it.
Okay. My number 3. I'm not sure if you read this. I don't think you do. It's from Ahoy Comics. Dragonfly and Dragonfly Man #1. Love this. I think it's Ahoy Comics. I think that's who makes it. I gotta check the book. It's Dragonfly and Dragonfly Man. It originally was the Wrong Earth. That was the series that was originally. It's the mini series. It's about Earth Prime and Earth Omega. Okay. One is like is Batman 66 world, where we have this group, this dynamic duo called Dragonfly Man and Hornet. I think his name is Hornet. No, Stinger. Stinger. Okay. And they're like the Batman and Robin in that universe. Old Chum and all that 60s comic-y stuff. And then we have Earth Omega, which is Dragonfly and also Stinger, but this is the Batman Dark Knight type world, where it's gritty. This is where Batman Dragonfly like basically doesn't respect Stinger at all. Dragonfly beats the crap out of people until they die. Like he doesn't care what he does. He's the results. Like he would do anything he has to do to get the results that he needs. Which is like Batman. You know, so it's very different than the two things, but it goes back and forth, and they're basically working the same case, Devilman. And you're seeing the two different cases on the two different universes, and you're seeing how they interact. I just love this book because, again, the dynamic of it being this is one story, and then this is the other, told from a different perspective, the two different worlds, like Batman Dark Knight versus Batman 66 worlds. Like they're two totally different worlds, but you're seeing them in one world, like well, not in one world, but in one book, because you're flapping back and forth. Now, in Wrong Earth, this I'm assuming that this takes place before Wrong Earth, because in Wrong Earth, the two it has to be before Wrong Earth. Okay, yeah, because this is Stinger #1 and Dragonfly in Prime Earth Omega. This is the first Stinger. He's dead in the sequel in the previous book, which is Wrong Earth. And in Wrong Earth, they switch worlds.
Oh.
Dragonfly is in Dragonfly Man's world, and Dragonfly Man is stuck in Dragonfly's world. So it's like one's where the cops love him and everybody sees him as a hero, and in the other world, everybody sees Dragonfly as like, he needs to be arrested if he's caught.
Wow. Actually sounds like fun.
It is. I definitely recommend people going to pick up. I think it's out in trade. It's called Wrong Earth. And then pick up this, because Wrong Earth explains a lot of what's going on, and again, you get that switch where you get the like Batman 66 type character showing up in the Batman Dark Knight character world, and the Dark Knight character going into the Batman 66 world, and you can see how different they are and how they react to things. But this one is when they're still in their own world. So I like it. I think this is a great book. But all right, let's go on to our number 2s, because you didn't read that book. So I'll give my number 2 real fast because it's a book we already talked about, which is Crescent and Isle. I loved it. I enjoyed it. So yeah, we already talked about that. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 was The Magnificent Miss Marvel, number 9.
Cool.
And yeah, um, when they finally kissed, I was like, when Bruno and Kamala finally kissed, I was like, it's about damn time. I just gotta say that. I want to
Yeah,
get that out
it's
there.
how old is that character? How long has Miss Marvel been out for? Like what, 5 years, right?
Yes, but just like the bro in me is like saying, dude, congrats, man. Finally, you're out of the friend zone, you know. But
Yes.
I don't know if I was the only one who thought this, but after that, after they kissed, right, I was thinking, what if they do a mind wipe in Bruno by the end of this arc? Like, say, like, okay, yeah, the last 24 hours of your life, were erased from your mind. Oh, really? Hey, come on, did anything important happen? It
Yeah,
might happen. You never know.
Kamala doesn't really push for it, because like even Tony was like, he's a cute boy, and he likes you and he'll do anything for you. Which I felt really weird that Tony's saying that. Like, I'm like, that's kind of creepy. Like, if someone you really don't know gives a girl advice like that, like, dude, you're kind of creepy. I think in real life, you would say to that person, you're kind of creepy, telling a teenage girl go for it. That you don't really know like that. She's not your niece, she's not your cousin, she's not your sister. You don't give advice to a teenage girl that you don't
Well,
really
they
know.
were they were teammates for a time, right? When they were Avengers.
For like 5 minutes. But still,
So,
like, I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't give that advice to like a coworker's daughter or something like that. I wouldn't
mhm.
say that. Like a young girl who's working in the office, I wouldn't say like, "Hey, this is a great guy for you," because I worked with you for 5 minutes. I just think it was kind of creepy the way he did it. But what I liked about this issue is the heartfelt of it.
Oh
Where
yeah.
the family's going through what happens with their father.
Oh, we found
I
out
love that.
why Kamal's father is actually sick, and it actually has to do with his Inhuman DNA
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, because when it woke up the Inhuman DNA, it also woke up Inhuman viruses and stuff that they had, like recessive genes that they had. And I think that played out in one of the Inhuman books where a couple of the humans were dying from the Terrigen Mist because of it awakening some old genes in them. I think that happened to some of the old Inhumans. Like, um, if I remember that correctly, I remember something like that happening before.
Hmm.
But yeah, again, I like this book. I think this is my favorite issue of the Magnificent Miss Marvel story. Um,
Yeah. Just please don't do a mind wipe. I have a hunch that's
I
gonna
hope
happen.
I hope not. I hope not. Let me see. Let's go with number 2 for Tevia, which is Spawn 302. Spawn going hunting and kicking ass. I love it. And then Terry gives us his number 1, which is Amazing Spider-Man number 33. Spider-Man 29 finally in the present doing something. Also, why is Hitman targeting Doctor Doom? I am so confused, and I'm guessing he's working with Chameleon, and Spidey is trapped in the middle of it. That should be interesting. But personally, I am more interested in the other story with Cadaverous and Peter and Mary Jane. But this 29 event does sound interesting. Um, Cadaverous isn't in this series though, so I mean, he's in
Hmm.
another series, another Spider-Man series. But is this in your book? Is this your number 1?
Nah, it's not my number
Did
one.
you read it?
No, I didn't.
Uh,
So how did it go?
um, Spider-Man 99 is in like 2 pages. Honestly, that's all he's in, and he wasn't. It's basically picking up what he did in last issue, which was he arrived in the present in last issue, and this issue he escaped. Like that's it. Like he literally just was like, I gotta go, I gotta find him. I can't remember what I gotta do. I can't remember what I'm here for, but I gotta find them. And that's it. He left. That was all Spider-Man 2099 was in there for. And then the rest of the issue was about Peter and Chameleon and Silver Sable, who didn't die by the Rhino. She's still alive, but she's not alive the way that she said. She's in really bad shape, and she needs the Infinity Formula in order to cure herself and save her country. So that's like the bulk of the issue. So it wasn't that interesting, honestly. And they sell the cover with $20.99 on it, and you literally get like 2, maybe 3 pages of them in it. That's it. It's a total fake out.
It's a total cash grab because $20.99 is gonna be the next Spider-Verse movie, right?
Exactly, and it's you could definitely see, which is weird because like it's like 2 years away, and Marvel's not going to have them in there for 2 years. But they should start playing that movie way sooner. Sony should have. Oh, he meant Kindred. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, I was gonna say because Cadaverous is I think that's in the he's in the J.J. Abrams book, I think. Cadaverous. Yeah, you said I meant to say Kindred. All right, let's see. Is any of the X-Men books in your top 5? And is your number 1? Okay, then let's just talk about those real fast. Did you read any of the Dawn of X books this week? Any of the new ones?
Haven't read any of the X-Men books, so how'd it go?
All right, X-Force. We just saw the setup for what the team's going to be about. I didn't think it was all that interesting because it was just a setup. Like, this group of people who are against mutants and how they strong-armed everybody in House of X and all that into accepting them, wanted to invade them. So like they're invading Krakoa, and the mutants are fighting back. So that's basically that. New Mutants was pretty cool. I like New Mutants. I think it's because they didn't really change the characters. They're going to find Sam, who's still in space, because he's got a family in space with what's her name? What's her name? She's one of the Landry's people. I can't think of her name.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I just can't remember her name either.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but he's married to her and they have kids. Brevin Campbell's here. What's up, Brevin? He says hi. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. And I like seeing that team interact with each other. I'm an old New Mutants fan, so like I love them. So I like that they're all kept in character. None of them felt weird. Rain was brought back to life. I hope with Sam coming back into this Cannonball, coming back in the story, I hope that they wind up bringing back his brother, Jay Guthrie. I love Icarus. I hope they bring back Icarus because they're bringing back all these other characters from the dead. Bring back Icarus, dude. Bring him back. I want my Icarus. So yeah, I didn't like X-Force that much because it was all set up, but I did like New Mutants. It was set up, but it was also a good story because it dealt with the characters and all that. So I'm about 50-50 on these books so far.
That's good. I mean, I'm glad New Mutants doing good. X-Force. I was gonna pick that up, but decided to drop it at the last second.
Yeah, it was very much like I said, it's just that beginning story where they're trying to set up why they need this special ops team, why they need a CIA type team, a strike force. Why does this nation need this? And that's why, because they were under attack.
Right.
And they brought in Kitty Pryde's people too. Like, I didn't like that. She brought in Colossus. Let's see.
Did they ever talk about their wedding at all?
Brought
up anymore?
she mentions her connection to him in this issue. She's like, and a Russian that Professor X sent over there or something like that. And I don't want anybody hurting him anymore.
Ooh.
And then she says Pieter. So that I like they alluded to the fact that they have a connection, but not that they that she destroyed him. She never mentions that she destroyed the guy. So go ahead.
Oh no, that's just it.
Okay. What was your number one?
My number one. This is a surprise, and I don't usually pick up this series at all. And I've been hearing pretty bad things about this series, but I had to pick it up anyway. Mine is Black Cat, number 6. The reason I picked it up is because of a previews that showed that there was a slight possibility Botruck the Leaper might have feelings for Captain America. I was surprised by that, so I had to pick this up, and luckily that wasn't the case.
I think he does. I think he does, but he compares the two to it. Like, he compares it to it. So I think he does have a crush on him too, but it's more because of their dance back and forth.
Yeah, the way I read it, right, he's describing close, passionate combat, second only to passionate lovers. So, like, your heart's beating, you're sweating, you're performing a dance with the other person. A different level, a different class.
I think he's relating the two, and I do think he's attracted to him. But I think like he's relating that he's attracted to him because of this villains and hero type thing. That cat and mouse game is very much like a relationship. I think he's attracted to him because of that. Like he's the good guy and he's the bad guy, and he's attracted to him for that. But he's mainly in it for that, like that back and forth.
Right. And aside from all that, I just enjoyed the overall date between Batroc and Black Cat, which I never saw those two dating at all. Like, I never saw those two as a pair. But it was interesting. Like, they go out on dates, fine champagne, fine dining, and all that stuff. And at the end, they said, you know what? Let's go rob. You're a merc. I'm a thief. Let's go rob someplace, right? And yeah, they rob him. She robs a museum. She robs like some antique vase, and he robs a blender and gives it to Black Cat. Which I thought that was so.
Which is kind of fitting because the annual is supposed to be the wedding, and what do you get people at weddings but like blenders and stuff? So,
yep, that's
a nice little nod there. Yeah, nice, I like the issue.
And at the end, they both end up smashing, and it was like a one night stand. They're okay with that. But in the background, apparently, Black Fox, her mentor, gets kidnapped, and she's gonna go save him. And I hope Botruck joins her really in the next issue.
Yeah, I like their pairing. And again, I still think he likes Captain America, but I think he's either like omnisexual or bisexual or something like that, where I just think he has an attraction towards him because of the whole cat and mouse thing, he knows he can't have him or anything, but it's the attraction of the, will they, won't they type thing. That's what he's attracted to.
Right. I'm just happy to be enjoying Batroc, I like him in Gwenpool, and I like him in this,
Yeah, he's a character that's, I think, underused and just used for comedy a lot, and he could be more than that.
I mean, the way I always describe Batroc for me is that you can make fun of him all you want, but at the end of the day, this guy could kick your ass in a fight. You know?
Let me see if there's any comments on.
Reverend's like, "Oh, Black Cat."
Yeah, Black Cat is good. This is the better issue though. Honestly, I think the last couple issues, the other issues weren't as good as this one. My number one was Batman number 82. The big fight
Cool.
between Bruce and Bane. And he takes him down. Bruce doesn't play fair. He tells
Take him
he
down with
tells Bane,
poetry.
huh?
Does he take him down with poetry?
No, he lies to him. He's like, let's go at this, but no mask, no help, no weapons or anything. Let's just go man to man. And Bane's like, whatever, let's do this. And he takes off his mask, he takes off his pump, takes off his regulator on his arm and all that. He's like, let's do this. And Catwoman jumps out and she like whips him with around the neck, and he's like, "You said want no help." He was like, "I lied," and he just like takes these like batarangs from his back. And the plan is that the batarangs are laced with the venom that Gotham Girl has, and if he had this pump and all that on it, he could regulate it, and his body won't process it. But without that, it will kill him, just like it's killing Gotham Girl. So Batman was going to make him, give up and then give him the antidote and defeat him. But Bane was like, no way, I'm not giving up. He was like, I spent years in the thing being drowned. Everybody tries to drown me. You try to drown me. I'm not going to go down. And Batman finally defeats him. Is going to break his back. And then Batman's father just comes in and goes, shoots Batman. It looks like he shot him in the stomach, like through the back into the stomach, like out through the stomach. And then he shoots Bane in the head. It looks like. So like he just like shoots him and he's like, "Let's go," So yeah, Batman's father is going to be. We got 3 more issues of this left. 83, 84, and 85. So I'm wondering where it goes, but I want to see how they defeat. Now it's going to be defeating Batman now, the other Batman. Let's see. Brian says, when is Batman Catwoman coming out? I think it will be coming out in February because it wasn't in January solicitations. But my guess was when it wasn't there, like a lot of people were panicking. Oh, it's not coming out. It's not coming out. It's not coming out. I think they're making it come out in February to tie in with Valentine's Day. It's a romance. Bat and cat come out on around Valentine's Day. So I'm thinking February, but they have not announced a release date yet. So I don't know. All right.
The wait will be worth it,
Yeah, you just gotta wait. I can't wait to see it. Like I'm actually enjoying what Tom King's doing with Batman. And I like the fight. I thought it was great. Seeing just Batman like holding Bane up there, ready to bend him, break his back over his knee, and then his father just coming in and shooting him. Like I was like, whoa! Like I didn't expect Bruce to get shot like that. But if the 5D thing does happen, where they replace Batman with someone else, this is why, because he was shot in the back.
Did they ever explain why Flashpoint Batman got into that world, DC?
No, they have not. They have not really explained it. They just said that Bane, brought him into everything. They didn't say how or why. All right. So, what's your cover of the week?
Cover of the week, it has to be the Magnificent Miss Marvel. I mean,
a true cover. A true cover, because that actually happens in the book.
That actually happens in the book, and I would imagine if you've been reading Miss Marvel's Kamala's journey since the beginning, this was a long time coming.
5 years almost. This week will be 5 years, the 15th. So she came out October. The first issue came out October 15th, 2014. So I looked it up while we were talking.
You're hoping no mind wipe. No mind wipe.
Let's hope not. My cover of the week was actually Future Fight First, Crescent and Io. I just love that cover. I think those art on those covers are freaking phenomenal. Like they have great art. All right. Now what's your most anticipated? What books are you looking forward to? The 3 most anticipated books.
Let's see. My most anticipated, the Black Cat Annual #1 for one thing. Agents of Atlas #4, of course, because I love those guys. And the Black Panther and the Agents of Wakanda #3.
Okay. Mine is Far Sector #1. That's the new Green Lantern on Earth in the Future book. Agents of Atlas #4. And Go Go Power Rangers #25.
Cool.
All right. So do you have anything coming up this week that you want to tell anybody about, or where they can catch you at and all that stuff?
Nothing specific for me planned for the coming week, but if you guys want to continue chatting with me and talk about a lot of Captain America stuff, there's a link down below for the Captain America Living Legends MeWe page or the Captain America Discord page. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So yeah, Captain America is awesome.
Yeah, I noticed that mug a couple of times. I have the same exact mug.
Yep.
I have the same exact one downstairs.
I have the shirt too.
I would have wore my Captain America shirt, but I don't sleep in that shirt. So, like, normally what I wear on the show is what I'm going to be wearing to bed that night. So, like,
right.
I'm very much like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep now. Or, like, at least go lay in bed and watch TV or something. But, yeah. Friday night, 10 o'clock p.m., I'm having Q&J. So, come by and chat with me for Q&J. I'll probably be talking about Disney Plus. So, I'm getting Disney Plus tomorrow. I'm gonna probably talk about some of that tomorrow. On Friday. Maybe I'll do something with the Mandalorian. Throughout the week, I might do a video on that. See that review. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna put up this week. I'm gonna try to put more content this week and next week and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to start putting up more content. It's been really busy, and the holidays are coming up and all that, so it's like hard trying to keep up with it. And plus, still getting used to having the new site and everything like that. So,
Right.
But yes, Brevin, Disney Plus tomorrow. So I'll probably be doing something this week with that. Like I said, probably do a Mandalorian episode trailer or something. I mean, episode review or something like that. So that'll be something I'll probably do.
Woohoo.
But yeah, so check out my channel, Comic Book Theater. Check out Twitter, Comic Book Theater without the R, like it says on the screen. Check out the Discord. The Discord, I want to say this: the Comic Phanatic Awards for 2019 are coming up. They're going to be airing in January. It's going to be probably a live show, and I'll probably be inviting other people on the show, like, throughout it to help me present awards. So I'm not exactly sure of the format yet of that, but I'm going to try to work something out with that. And I'm going to have, the way I've always wanted to do the awards was to have everybody participate in it. I've always wanted it to be a People's Choice Awards, because it's not just my opinions that matter, it's everybody's opinions that matter. And I want to get a broader spectrum of it. So I'm doing it now. This is how I've always wanted to do them. So the ballot is in the Discord. There's a Discord that says Comic Phanatic Awards. Go there. It's a pinned thing. So all you gotta do is copy and paste that and fill it out with your selection, one apiece, one for everything, and turn it in by the end of the month. You can either PM me if you don't want other people to know your choices, because you don't want to get the controversial stuff. I get that. Some people don't want that that on them. I'm already got a couple entries that way because people are like, I don't want people hating me for liking certain things. Or you can just post it right in that Discord channel. So either way you want to do it, publicly, privately, I don't care. It's up to you. But I would like everybody to please participate, because I think it's going to be a fun thing. Voting will begin shortly after the nominations are in. I'll put all the nominations down and start polls for them, and then you guys can start voting for it. And that will be all throughout December. And then we'll, go on to see who wins them in January. All right. So I do want everybody to join that. And Comic Book Club this month for November was DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths, the original story. So we're doing that, and that would be next Friday. So hope everybody can go join that, read that book, or if you have already read it, come and join us anyway and talk about that book. There will be an announcement on there, not only what the next series would be, the next book that we're going to read would be, but there's also be an announcement aside from that on there. Okay, so I'm going to make another announcement next Friday night on something that's big that you guys might enjoy. All right, that's everything though. I want to thank Cryptid again for coming on. My most shows co-host. I think this is your third time.
Yeah.
So cool. Glad that you're a regular on here. I enjoy having you on every week. I enjoy talking to comic books with you. So that's really cool.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Next week, Teddy is going to be on. So join us next week.
I want to see his opinion on Black Cat Annual. Honestly,
that's why I asked him if he will come on. So yeah, join us next week for another one. Again, 10:30 p.m. on Monday, every Monday night, 10:30 p.m. And don't forget, Friday, 10 o'clock p.m. We got Q&J, and then next Friday, Comic Book Club. And don't forget to vote, nominate your comics in the Discord. So go do that and have a good, safe week. Bye, everybody.
good night, everybody.